I think we're live. Well, good that you're watching to the video on demand of our weekly reset stream. Of course, every Tuesday, same time, we stream Valhalla. Talk a lot about Assassin's Creed. And as you already see in the freaking thumbnail, there's an update incoming. And we know that for many reasons. One, there's a new trophy right now that says Heroes of Ancient Britain. It's the Tomb of the Fallen Part 2. So it only has one trophy. There were two for the first Tomb of the Fallen. I can show you that. These are like the PS4 trophies because they only appeared on PS4. I, of course, play on PS5. So that's why everything has a 0%. But here you saw like the first two. And now we see a new one. Buried Knowledge. So that is new. That is interesting. Let's get into the game. See if there's a pack. And discuss more news. Because there's way more. And I want to thank... Oh, spoilers. I want to thank Scott, by the way, for reaching out about the trophy. Because again, they only appear like early on PS4. And not on... not on PS5 or like Xbox or something. So that's very interesting. We, of course, are booting the game up right now. So we get the refresh of the shop. We're going to check Reda. Hope everyone is doing well. Bonjour, says Descartes. Greg, good to see you as well. Andre the Flash, as always, represent. Terrace. Thanks everyone for watching. There were a ton of people watching, which is cool to see. Smuck Chipmunk, good to see you as always as well. Let's get into it. James Allen is like first time chatting. He says, hey, I see everything. Hello. James, I hope that you have a good one. Ben Morgan, hope you're well, buddy. I am. I'm actually pretty well. We got some busy weeks. I want to thank Sir Sitsalot. 18 months. 16 months in a row. Can't thank you enough. That's really cool. Thanks for the sub there. Appreciate it a lot. So, what else is new, you might ask? Oh, wappadoopoo! Experience the story of Basim, a cunning steed thief, nightmares vision, seeking answers to justice as he navigates the bustling streets of the 9th century Baghdad. Yeah, it's coming. It's close. That's interesting. I saw like a different sort of tile there in Origins, so they're kind of switching that up. But yeah, as you can see right here as well, we're now in patch 1.6.0. But actually, which was added to the database, thanks to PlayStation Game Size, of course. Best Twitter account. One of the best Twitter accounts. He notes that it's 6.1 basically, which is coming. So that's the big new update. It's in the database. This usually means that it's gonna be out next week. And with it being added on Monday, I think it's highly likely that it's out next Tuesday. So that this is also the final weekly reset stream before the new update. Which of course is pretty exciting. I want to thank Chris there for 14 months as a Raptor member. That's insane. And I also 10... Oh wow, you can now gift memberships. Well, everyone who got it. Like No Way Out, Black Knight, Nightcar, Terrace... A lot of people who are also waiting. If you got the free memberships, you can now put down some really cool emotes, like the hype one. And please thank... Darklaw got it as well. That's awesome to see. And yeah, please thank Chris for that. It's very kind. Thanks a lot. Support here is crazy. Good to see. Phil, thanks for joining. He says, loves your streams. Appreciate it. That was 1 point, and the other one was 6.2. Two different numbers. Yeah, so it's coming out next week. I think that's pretty obvious. There is another reason for that. But I will tell you that in a moment. Hey, we gotta keep the suspense here. So we're gonna go to Reda right now. Check what he has to offer. We're gonna throw on the recording as well. Or am I seeing the worst ever? Oh my god. The worst ever. Oh, papadoopoo. Okay, I gotta like remove something. I've been playing like the Modern Warfare 2 beta real quick. I did the third person mode. It looks like my character is like kind of glitching, but I think that's like a weird sort of thing in the area. I don't know what that is. Either way, having some time, a good time with Modern Warfare 2. Just casually shooting some people in the third person mode. I think that's actually quite cool. Either way, I want to record, but I can't. Are we going to delete something? I think I am. Real quick. Games. Can I like delete a game? That would be the easiest way to do it. From the console storage. Oh, there's only like one game on my console storage, like media. Media is the easiest thing to delete. Last of Us. Yeah, we can like delete some Last of Us stuff. This one. Goodbye. I like record everything on PlayStation now. So my full playthrough of The Last of Us is on here, but I already put it on a USB. So I can like do it like this. And then we're back into the game before you know it, and Red has like kept you waiting. But no. Tess, thanks for all the videos that you made. Mirage got me super hyped. Donkey. Well, thanks a lot for watching. I got another Mirage video coming up this week. So stay tuned for that. So this one is actually kind of new, which is kind of cool. I did not get this Blood Elf pack. So I'm totally getting these eye wraps, which is kind of nice. The Charlemagne hood is, I think, just the Fane hood. And this, of course, from, if you like have the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC, you don't need this. And this is an interesting one, the Frozen Tomb Hall. I'm gonna buy this one as well. Of course, we always have this issue. But still, I'm gonna like buy it and then hope that it at one point appears in my my thing here. Buy the eye patch, yeah, I will. And hopefully at one point it will show up. So let's see if they are releasing new packs, or am I like... I think I know how to fix this. Give me 1 second. Sometimes my PS5 is like doing weird stuff. But I think because I just moved it across the room. Yeah, I know how to fix this. I have my wire inserted, but it's not like... I was like using my... I think maybe it should be fixed now.
What do you have?
Yeah, this looks like it. So we just have to wait a bit, I think. And I'm gonna like buy the Frozen Tomb Ball. Okay, I already have the Frozen Tomb Ball. So let's check that out. I'm excited for Jade and Hexay. That's interesting to see people say Jade as well. Like, I think it could be really cool. I think it could be really, really cool for sure. Well, we got a leg spike here. Hello. The eye wrap is good for a blind swordsman look. Yeah, for sure. And I'm not sure if you guys played League of Legends or know about it. But you got Lee Sin, the blind monk, which like one of my favorite characters in that game. And he, of course, also has a eye wrap. So I kind of dig that too. Let's see if we got the hull going here. It's like the shield, so the hull. It's not here yet, the frozen one that I just bought. So I think we have to wait. Can check the helix stop now. Yeah, see, it is updated now. But yeah, so it's from this pack, the eye. So I think the red one is maybe cooler, although this one is more like ordinary. Like it's like more regular. So it's kind of cool that Red is selling this one right now. I do hope that he sells this really cool looking. I think the scythe is actually really cool. Killing an ignited enemy makes your next 5 hits deal critical damage. It's actually really, really powerful. So yeah, I will probably have that eye band in my like inventory at any point now. But we just have to wait a bit. That's kind of how it always goes, sadly. But we can talk about something else already. And that is... Because we, again, like we learned... Okay, the update is added to the database. That's interesting and all. So that means we get it next week. But what is in the update? Well, again, we got the trophy for the Tombs of the Fallen, Part 2. Which appeared on PS4. It's 1 trophy for completing all the tombs. So that's likely 5 of them, I think. Right? I think we got 4 in the... with the first update. With, of course, the sort of first one. If we, like, go here. We got, of course, the tomb right here. Like, let's see, like, the one here. next to the, which did not really count as a tomb. But I am curious what happens when you like complete that. I should remove this. So that's of course the tomb right here. Then we had a few more, and we know there are like a few more over here on the map, I think. I think one is like over here, and the other one is like close to here. So we are probably going to explore these tombs, but Ubisoft also teased the following, and this one is also very interesting. Ravensthorpe is about to get bigger. Clank, clank, clank. I don't think they are like referring to Clank from Ratchet & Clank, although that would be a cool crossover. No, it's instead, and I'm gonna download the image so we have a better look at it. But instead, it's the, let's see if I can like look at the tweet here. They just put this up like an hour ago. If I like download the picture, I can like change it up. Add like a new image. Let's do it like this. So we get a better look at it. So thanks for the follow there, by the way. So we're gonna get a new building, which seems to be all about runes, and actually kind of building and making those runes. At least that's what's kind of the sort of sign there is kind of hinting at. And also we have the shop, which is kind of interesting. Let me move that around here. I'm still here, don't worry. Hello. But here we can like see sort of sign, which is there, which is here too. We see a new NPC. And I really think this means that we can like build our own runes. Like we have a forge here. And that is kind of crazy because right, and I'm of two minds about this. Like at one point I'm like happy that they at least are doing something like this, because of course the rune system, going from the engraving system to the rune system, like the engraving system in Odyssey, where you could easily put every perk you found in the game from a full like sort of armor set and a weapon, you could put it immediately on any other item you wanted. And also for post-launch items, these perks would immediately be added to your engraving slot. To go to the rune system in Valhalla, where it's all over the place and where new perks are not added at all, to finally see this, where we can probably make our own runes, is yeah, gonna be pretty interesting. I'm like, because right now the only way to get runes is of course by going to the merchant and then praying that they are selling what you want. But yeah, that's not convenient at all. There were of course, if you like had your like your targets, your Order of the Ancients targets, if you like killed those, you got a rune as well. But you had to be lucky. You could like save, quit and stuff like that. But yeah, that was not ideal at all. And of course, after you got all these targets, yeah, there was no reason to kind of care about it, or like you could not use that to get runes. So it seems like we can probably, like, my bet is just that we can just see a list of all the possible rune options and just say, hey, I want this, spend some silver or whatever. Probably it's gonna cost us something, and then yeah, we can probably get the runes that we want without having to pray to Odin that the runes that we want are here. Now, I also think there are new runes, but I want to go more in depth on that in a future video, because there are some reasons to believe that. I might already kind of tease it here. Okay, let's tease it a bit, okay. I have followed you. Nice, Musa. Appreciate that. Darklaw saying nice regarding the runes. I agree. So we like scroll down here, down, 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 in and any around. Oh, you can't see it. This is a very weird, strange rune. I'm gonna leave it at that. So more in a future video. Wanted to tease it a little bit. Dual runes from Paris. That would be great. Like, it's still wild that we only got one version of these runes, right? From Paris. Like, I got them somewhere. Like, I by the way like switched to PC for a bit, and on PC you can like use the mouse to scroll, which is kind of crazy. It's like for me that's like a game changer because on console I can only. It feels like doesn't feel good. But of course, where are they? At one point we will see the double runes from Paris. But yeah, I just don't know why they would only give you one, especially because you can like farm that activity like endlessly and still get the runes. But yeah, or like and get like an unlimited amount of that currency that you can then not spend on anything. Yeah, here we go. So like maybe like you can. I'm not like counting on it. I do feel this was like just a fun thing for Siege of Paris. But maybe they are doing that. Like maybe that they are giving us the option to combine things that maybe were not possible before. That would be interesting. I overall hope though, because also in the Dawn of Ragnarok, we of course had these Odin runes that you could put on the divine quality gear, which completely changed things up. Also in England, so you did not only have to be in Svartalfheim to see these moves. Some of them though, some were of course linked to the Odin powers, but some were just like useful throughout the rest of the game as well, which kind of cool. But I overall think, like, there were also cool runes in the Forgotten Saga that kind of felt like really awesome, and we could not use elsewhere. So I would not be surprised, because you would think that they already created these runes, so why not bring them to the other parts of the game as well? So I think that they will introduce the runes that we saw with Forgotten Saga maybe into the game as well with this new building. So that's kind of interesting, right? A new update can have new weapons like a mace, right? Like that's still interesting, because Jose said to me that that we would like get. Like that he would not say that there was not going to be one new weapon type. Like, that would of course be amazing to have the maces in Valhalla. But, yeah, on the other hand, like, usually that is like linked to like a paid expansion. Maybe if they do the freaking, I wanna get the freaking headband. Let me buy it again.
Sturdy and yet lightweight. Perfect for your line of work.
Yeah, but I think I have to like reload the game to properly see it. We're gonna like go through the contracts and then hopefully they show up.
Odds are.
Oh. But yeah, like, because that's what I think what will kind of happen now. That I first thought we would get a September update, because them saying the Tombs of the Fallen Part 2 was going to be, by the way, I thought it was like kind of cold here, so I put on a. Put on a jacket there, but it's not needed. It's still pretty hot. No, but I first thought we would get like a September update, and then we would see the October update be the Tombs of the Fallen, and then November would be the Lost Chapter, which we of course got the trailer for. We also viewed it live here on the channel when it of course dropped for the first time, but also last week during this stream. And I thought that would be kind of the cadence, but what I'm thinking right now is with the trophy for the Tombs of the Fallen already being here, as let's see, Chris or Scott pointed out here on Twitter, like we started the stream with that trophy, because there are on PS4. If you are on PS5, you can like install the PS4 version of the game, just boot it up, I think, and then remove it, and then you will always see the PS4 trophies on your PS5, so you can easily spot new trophies when they are available. Although I don't think we will get a lot of new extra trophies. I do think it will be the Tombs of the Fallen and probably the Lost Chapter will get a trophy. Maybe New Game Plus as well, if they're still doing it. But that's kind of what I'm curious about. Like, what about... So, is it like Tombs of the Fallen, Lost Chapter? Because we also still have one festival that we need to get. And that is, of course, the Wild Hunt Festival. So, we got that last year after Halloween. It's kind of the Halloween festival, of course. Last year, we got that in November. And I think it's gonna happen here as well. So, I really think that next week we get the update. Then we get the next update in November with the Lost Chapter. And then 2 days later, the Wild Hunt Festival. And then, hopefully in December, like... Maybe the final update with New Game Plus, and that is when they introduce the new weapon type. Like, it would of course be awesome, and I'm not gonna... Let's not expect it, because I think New Game Plus can be done in multiple ways. I think the Sony games do it really well. Of course, FromSoft does it, like, insanely well. But I think, like, the Sony games do it pretty well as well, where you actually, like, in Horizon, you actually had 10 new weapons to earn. What if, in Valhalla, they add a new weapon type you can only get in New Game Plus? Like, that would, of course, be insane. That would be wild and would be a good reason. Because if you already have all the wealth and do New Game Plus, what is in those wealth chests? Are they already open? That kind of sucks, right? I want to thank Dead Soul Bad Guys for the $1. Appreciate it. That's like a weird badge as well I see there. And once again, Chris, thanks for the... gifting 10 memberships. I hope everyone thanked Chris for that. Nice shirt. Yeah, thanks, Damon. Got it from Square Enix. Hey, papadoopoo. We got the freaking... it felt like it was like a drop now from that enemy. But no. I think it looks awesome. So you can get that right now at Reda. That's pretty cool. It has a delay on the delivery. It is still same day delivery though, so that's worth it. But yeah, that's pretty nice. It's a very unique headband. Like, I think that that item pack was like not that exciting. Like, I also think that next week, because again, it's been, I think, the longest since we had... Maybe it is the longest time, or earlier this year we also did not really have Helix packs, right? But I think next week we're gonna get the Master of the Elements set. Or the, so either the Tunnel set or the Iron Man set, because it's so wild that we haven't seen them yet. So yeah, it's gonna be either one of them. For people that are just joining, XRV Dragon is asking, hey Yor, is the new update significant? So I want to give a quick recap for people that are just joining. So, real quick, we got the trophy. Oh, we got the trophy for the Tombs of the Fallen, which basically confirms to me that the Tombs of the Fallen are coming with this next update. It has been added to the PlayStation database. This usually means that the update is the week after. Like, sometimes the update was like a few, like 2 weeks. But Ubisoft has been teasing things already, and they usually only tease things when they are like next week. So if they're like already starting the tease on Tuesday, I think it's safe to say that we get the update next week. And for people that just joined, they posted Ravensthorpe is about to get bigger. Clank, clank, clank. We see an image of a brand new shop, which will be added to Ravensthorpe, where we can likely create our own runes. At least that's what the icon here is indicating. So I think it will be a pretty significant update. Like having the room building. Hopefully combat with a hood on. Like, there are still a few updates left. Fingers crossed. That would of course be amazing if they add that. Yeah, that's of course not confirmed. It's still like something they were working on. It's so vague. But they've been saying that for over a year now. So let's hope they figure it out. Because that would be a nice... I mean, I would have loved to see it earlier. That's the same with the rune shop. Like, I mean, there are a lot of people, and that's why it in the end doesn't really matter. Like, there will be a lot of people that buy Valhalla for the first time. Like, maybe more people and this might sound weird, but maybe more people started playing Valhalla this year than last year. Of course, the game came out November 2020. But this year it has been added to the PlayStation Plus Extra database. It's like sort of the headline title. Let's make sure it's a little brighter here. But yeah, with Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey added to Game Pass right now, I can totally see them adding Valhalla to the service as well. I think they probably have a deal with Sony where they're like, hey, we put Valhalla on our service, so you can't like immediately put it on Xbox. But I'm sure they will add it to Game Pass, so that will like bring a huge influx of players as well. And those players will see the room building for the first time and probably have a way better experience. So I kind of envy those people in a way. Although, of course, I would have never like skipped the Valhalla launch and waited like a few hours or like almost 2 years because they added a feature I wanted since the day one. But yeah. That's kind of the thing, of course, with these live service games. Although, like, I'm happy that they're doing it now. But yeah, would have been nice to like, it would have really changed the game up quite a lot. But we don't know what the room building is. But if it is what I think it is, which is like a building where you can just like select all the different possible runes and build it for silver, so you can basically get every rune you want whenever you want. Like, that's of course kind of a game changer. I do think it's gonna cost quite a lot of silver. So if you don't have a lot of silver and want to use the new feature, you might want to stack up on that. I think I already like completed the mission or not. No, I have to like save this person.
My thanks, friend.
Is my audio crappy? I think not, right? I just got Origins for free on Prime. Yeah, they're giving away these Assassin's Creed games, like, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, for them, it's like, I think really everyone who wanted to buy these games did it already, right? And they of course have a lot of like microtransactions, and especially on services like Game Pass. It seems that according to data that because people have the idea that they got the game for free, if that makes sense, because they of course are paying for the subscription but not for the game, they're actually more willing to buy DLCs or buy microtransactions. So I think Ubisoft is still making quite a lot of money on people that probably would have never played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Origins or Odyssey in the first place. Let alone they are probably more excited for Red when that finally happens, or even Mirage that's coming up. New game plus with the new update? Sadly not. No, we're still waiting for that. But we always learned that it was going to be with the final update. So I'm not like... It makes sense that they're kind of like... I think I got everything then, right? I think I got everything. I want to thank XDV6 with the Prime sub. And there is, by the way, a Prime bundle as well. I talked about that last week. So, that would be... Can I, like... pull it up? No. There was like a Prime bundle for if you have Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, maybe watching that Lord of the Rings show. I think you then already have Twitch Prime. You then also have a free sub, which you can give here to the channel, like XDV6 did, which I still appreciate. Favorite YouTuber, keep up the gaming content. Thanks, Click to Game. I wonder if the runes will cost silver plus hunting goods to make it more challenging. So like a haze rune would cost silver and like rabbit food. I don't think they will do that. And I hope they don't, because I don't... Like, hunting is not a big part of this game. Like, for example, in Red Dead Redemption 2, it was actually, like, interesting. I did, like, for the pouch upgrade, I spent maybe, like, 10 hours getting that. Like, some of the upgrades for Red Dead Redemption 2 are insane. But the hunting, at least, was super interesting. It's not the case here. So I think having that for the fishing hut and for the sort of... thing that we have here, like the sort of hunting hut there, that makes sense, but I don't want that for my runes. I think already having to farm silver, which there's not like the beggar farm they removed and stuff, is not really nice. The update isn't out, y'all. No. I also say that the update is incoming. We know it's coming next week. So it's gonna be interesting. Hey Vaughn, good to see you. They should add Unity to Game Pass. I think so too, because Unity is actually 60 FPS on Xbox Series, which is kind of nice. Did I just get 5 opal, like, really delayed? That's kind of crazy. Let's see if I can, like, do something here that I still need to one sort of freaking... Oh, we have, like, quite a lot of crap. I'm gonna, like, do some of these. Fishing in an Assassin's Creed game. You probably have never played these previous games, although I think only Valhalla had fishing, right? I think that you could always kill fish, but I don't think they had like a purpose for it. Oh, there I see it. We can.
Go. Nice.
Chris with the 20 bucks. Chris is on a roll there. That's insane. Your support is insane. Skata, you're right. I think the next update is next week as well. So that will be a fun stream next week. I've been kind of dying for some post-launch content. As you know, of course, we do a lot of like coverage of a lot of games. But we are kind of in pre-launch season. Where we're mostly just discussing... Yeah, the games that are coming up, like God of War, Hogwarts Legacy, Gotham Knights, of course, coming up, Mirage, all the other Assassin's Creed games. But I always, as you might know, I prefer always like covering games after they're out. So not only the tips for when the game comes out, but just also the updates and the changes and having streams like this so we can, yeah, talk about things we discovered together instead of... yeah, just looking at the same trailer over and over again, and like stuff like the Nodens arc. That was of course a ton of fun in Valhalla, where with the Isu bow that you could only get if you would hit the rock when it was like almost nighttime, and then you would break it, or you could like glitch it, as we found out, and that was the first the way that we found out to get the bow. They did fix that though, but now you have to use the Excalibur to get it. So yeah, it's cool that next week we get an update again, so we can have an update video, the stream, and I will probably, I don't know like what I'm gonna do. I might do the stream next week, but I want to like do the full Tombs of the Fallen as well. So maybe I will do the stream and then also the Okay. And do like the Tombs of the Fallen stream the week after. We can like clear these guys out. I of course keep these so I can...
I need your eyes, my friend.
Do they have like a key or something? Oh, it's over there. So I can like show builds and stuff. So I'm gonna let these guys chill there. Although I don't think they skill, so sometimes these animals are like really easy to kill. When do you think we will see Mirage gameplay? I think personally that we will get Mirage gameplay at Game Awards in December. So I think it will be a while. And some people are, and I do agree with that, like... I get that you see it that way. That, of course, them not showing gameplay, is there a reason behind it? What are they hiding? But let's not forget that that is kind of the Ubisoft tactic for a while now. And that's how I also predicted that this was going to be the rollout for Mirage. We're gonna get a really cool trailer, some screenshots, they will do interviews, and yeah, at this point it's kind of our imagination that is running wild. And I'm seeing a lot of people say that there's gonna be like, or that the parkour is inspired by Unity, and I'm like, let's wait and see. I don't think, I want to believe But I think that's coming back to what we had for Valhalla, where they also said a lot of like we heard social stealth is back, so we already in our mind thought of what that might look like and how we want it to be implemented, and then it turned out to be not that significant. Of course, they did not say. They just said, "Hey, yo, social stealth is back." So it was kind of our fault. I would imagine. Yeah, you could argue that, or yeah, for some people's fault that they kind of ran with it. But that's the same with Mirage right now. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I think gameplay at Game Awards, because I think the game is coming out like May at the earliest. So like they have there's no reason for them to show gameplay earlier. Like they're it's gonna be November or December before you know it. We might get like another trailer, because we did have that for like Valhalla as well, like quite a lot of trailers. Raven says, played Valhalla for more than 600 hours in total. That's a little more than me, I think. Oh, what armor is that? I'm just like rocking the armor that Reda was selling last week. So, this is still the Reda selection from last week. But I am using the eye wrap here, which was, of course, yeah, from the most recent pack, actually, which I think already launched more than a month ago, which kind of shows you what is going on with the packs. But I think they're saving it for the next update. Like, it makes way more sense for them to launch the Tunnel set or the Iron Man pack next week, when more people are jumping into the game and seeing the pack for the first time. So I think that's when we get one of the two new sets, or maybe a completely different one. Like, I'm sure next week new sets will leak again, and I'm really curious. Like, they have been kind of on a roll. I think Tunnels leaked first, then the Blood Elf set. Blood Elf wasn't that exciting in my opinion. Again, the sort of headband that we have here, the eye wrap, really cool. But you can get it at Reddit right now, so I would say get it. 120 opal. And yeah, then they made the Iron Man set, which also leaked more than 2 months ago at this point, I think. So I'm really curious how they will follow this up. Like, what is next? Are they going to go crazy? I think I kind of just skipped the whole puzzle, but I don't care. Let's get the artifacts for that Origin shield. Ha. Jordan, did you see the GTA 6 leaks? Yes, I did. I did not like talk about them or share them or whatever, simply because I think Rockstars can be kind of scary with that sort of stuff, and it was, of course, also like just in development footage. I think it's it's kind of different than the lost the sort of 40 Thieves quest leak that we had from Mirage. But yeah, I think it looked interesting. It looked like GTA. I think it's kind of hard to say right now. It really looked like GTA. And I hope it is way more than that when it finally releases. But yeah, it's kind of hard to see looking at the footage. Because that was like more than a year ago, I think. Have you seen Edge Runner? Not yet. No, I heard good things about it though, and I did like Arcane, so I might watch it. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see the resurgence for Cyberpunk because of the TV show, and that is of course interesting. Like, that is what all these companies are doing. Like, also with the Assassin's Creed Netflix stuff, and Division is getting it. Sony is of course going hardcore into these things. And that's all they want. Like, they want what Cyberpunk and The Witcher had, which is a renaissance for your game by not doing anything with the game. Sure, they had like an Edge Runner update and stuff, but Like, they release something completely different, and people that never would have played Cyberpunk or The Witcher bought it because they liked the show. And Sony hopes that that happens with The Last of Us, of course, as well, which is coming up with an HBO show. We know a Horizon TV show is coming. So you're really like putting the franchise in front of a lot of people that would have never engaged with it otherwise. So yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I think it once again shows why all these companies are trying to make a good series based on their game. And so far it seems to kind of always work out, which is interesting. Yeah, it takes place in Vice City, the GTA 6. 2 main characters, it seems. Male and female. Bonnie and Clyde was kind of the inspiration, according to Jason Schreier, which totally it totally looked that way. Don't forget Ghost of Tsushima Netflix show. Hey Aaron, good to see you. Hope you have been doing well. Yeah, I think Ghost of Tsushima is getting a movie actually. I'm not sure if it's Netflix. I think it's just maybe like a cinema movie. Damn, I didn't get it. Beyond Wonder. Or Beyond Force. Yeah, it might show up again. But you can join the Discord as well. JorRaptor.com /Discord. Where lovely people from the community like T-Elf keep you posted with the daily items that Reda is selling. Keanu Reeves is the main protagonist for the movie? Which movie? Is there supposed to be an update today, Raider? No. Like I said, in the thumbnail and in the title, there's an update incoming. It's coming next week. And, or at least all things point towards that. And Ubisoft has been teasing it as well. Seems like we finally get the Tombs of the Fallen Part 2. So when they said fall, they really meant the start of fall, which is interesting. And yeah, that seems to be happening next week and probably go live on Tuesday. And there also seems to be a new settlement building where we can probably make our own runes, which is going to be very interesting. And I think this will be one of the final updates. I think the next one will be the last chapter one we got, so that will likely be on the 2nd year anniversary of the game. I think we then also get the Wild Hunt Festival 2 days later. So I think that's going to be early November. I hope it's not the same week as God of War. Please don't be the same week as God of War. I mean, they also got... Ubisoft also has... like... Skull and Bones. I think for them, like, I don't know if they, like, really care. I think for them, it would not be smart to have a Valhalla Lost Chapter, pretty significant update, in the same week as Skull and Bones. I hope it's the week before that. That would also, yeah, give me more time to play it, because I think we will be knees deep in God of War in the first week of November. Or that, like, November 8th, November 9th week. So yeah, it will be interesting, but yeah, that's kind of my prediction. And then I still think we get like the final update in December, likely with the third time the Yule Festival, and I think that is when we get the yeah, that is when we get New Game Plus. Like that is my hope, and I hope it's way more significant. Like I really think they can just do New Game Plus like we saw for the older games. Like they have to kind of, because for Origins, like they did do an outfit, which was kind of cool. For Odyssey, there was nothing new in New Game Plus, right? I don't think they added anything. So it was just like, here, you can replay the story now. Please don't ask us about it again. So I always like it when there's like extra progression in New Game Plus. A lot of games are doing that. But yeah, for Assassin's Creed, we've never seen that. But I hope that with them like taking the necessary time, and that they are doing it a bit better than... Can I like hit it from here? Usually I can like skip these puzzles, but I do think I have to climb the tree. can I like hit the cage to have it fall down? I don't think I can. When is the update coming, Ryan? I hope I answered that question for you. Next week seems to be it. So totally look forward to a stream next week where I will go in depth on the update. And of course we will have a video up, etc, etc. I don't think I can like climb this, so let's see. Looking for a red crosshair here. It's been going... maybe this angle. Been going really smooth so far, but... we hit a roadblock. It's just a... Can be from a distance. Trick shot though. Yeah. Usually I see like my crosshair turn red and then we got it. Maybe I can like... Where give me... This does kind of give me Hexay vibes though. Like I really would not be surprised if they're like sort of... If they're sort of work on Valhalla, like covering a lot of the dark England sort of stuff that we also see here, and of course in the Druids DLC, that was of course made by a different team, but we did see like a lot of sort of creepy stuff like this. Like I would not be surprised if that caused them to be like, let's make a full game about this. Let's go Germany, witch trials, see what that is about. Really curious what Hexay is, but... Oh! Is that it? My controller is like vibrating as crazy. But how am I supposed to do it? Climb the other tree. Okay, that makes sense. I see it now. Yeah, I see it. I've been too focused on the scary tree. AC Hexay, only the whole game, just this side questing. No, don't. Like, I'm just like... It's... The only sad part about all the things they announced for the future is that it's just so far away. Like, I would have loved... I would not have minded. I got it. Yeah, there we go. Thanks for the help, everyone. Like, I would not have minded a new game this year already. Which is kind of crazy to say, but... I don't know, like, if they just did the Valhalla post-launch 1 year, ended with Dawn of Ragnarok, then got the new game this year, of course, that would be perfect world talk. Although the Odyssey team, like, they released their game in 2018, like, of course, COVID happened and stuff, but... And, like, but yeah, then we would not have gotten Immortal, so maybe that's, and maybe not ideal either. And what is interesting about Red, by the way, is that there was like this Paris event for Ubisoft in general, where like some some big websites went to in like even like the CEO of Ubisoft, Yves, talked there, and Marc-Alexis Cote, the producer on or like the kind of the boss of Assassin's Creed, and they Eurogamer like published their interview, and it was like pretty interesting how he at one point said that the Eurogamer reporter, I think his name is Tom Phillips, was like asking a question about Red. And then Mark, Alexicote said, well, you can ask them yourself in a few months' time when you are talking to these people. So I was like, what? In a few months' time? I, of course, immediately reached out to Ubisoft. I was like, is there a possibility to talk to the people that are... to the developers of Red? Sign me up. But yeah, it seems mostly for press. I mean, I can be press as well if they want to. But, like, that... I think that... Whoa! I did a crazy move right there. Did not see you do that often, Eivor. But, like, that means, for one, that we will probably get some new Red stuff in the next few months. Like, I'm really curious what the rollout will be right now, because Mark also said that usually they don't announce games this early. Like Valhalla, Odyssey, Origins, they were all revealed just a few months. Like even Odyssey, especially Odyssey was kind of crazy. Odyssey was announced in June and it released in October. And that's why we also immediately got gameplay for that title. So that is kind of interesting. But yeah, maybe we will see more of those games like before their usual sort of big blowouts. So maybe we will get a trailer for Red in a couple of months already, or like just a cool early look. I think I can like skip this, right? Yeah. Because we already know it's coming, so why not? But we will have to wait and see. I think Hexe we won't hear anything before Red. Or maybe they do like another showcase next year where they like tease Hexe a bit more. But apart from that, I think it's gonna be Mirage, of course, a lot. And I think they are like, yeah, we can show you Red. Because it is not really competition of Mirage. Like, it's a completely different game. It's of course an RPG. So we can show Red and it won't hurt Mirage. Maybe it will get people more excited in Mirage. Be like, oh, I can't wait for Assassin's Creed. I'm excited for the series again. Oh, Red is still far away. I'm gonna get Mirage. Maybe that is kind of how it works. But yeah, all I'm saying is usually we would have waited, because Red is like 2024. Usually we would have probably waited till May 2024 before we would see a proper look at Red. I would not be surprised if we, even if it was like another teaser, like actual gameplay or like a game teaser, I don't know, show us a bit more. I would not be surprised if we saw that as early as maybe at the end of this year or early next year. But at least we know Eurogamer is going to talk to the Red people in a few months. Do we know that those games are really that far away? Like Mirage was delayed to 2023, but maybe Red was also 2023. Vanquisher, Mirage was always going to be early 2023. Never the end of this year. Because maybe if like, of course, the sort of Jason Schreier rumor that, yeah, properly talked about Mirage said that they turned the Valhalla expansion into a full game. Like, maybe at one point, when it was still the Valhalla DLC, which according to developers was only 4 to 5 months, maybe then they were like, okay, this is gonna be the final sort of thing we do for Assassin's Creed, right? For Valhalla. So then it makes sense that you still do it in the second year, because if you then launch it in 2023, you are looking at a third year for Valhalla, and I don't think that was ever the plan. Like, I don't think they ever wanted to do a third year. So when Mirage was still a Valhalla DLC, it was probably gonna launch in 2022. But then they were like, okay, so Codename Red is probably 2024. Because we have to imagine that according to the LinkedIn profiles, and I want to do like a full-on Red video with a lot of extra info we found and stuff. But I already looked at some LinkedIn profiles for people that are working on Red. They started January 2021. It seemed like after Immortals, most of the people that worked on that game moved on to, or like some of the people. I still think there's like an Immortals sequel that some people are working on. But a lot of the people inside Quebec, after Immortals, which was the end of 2020, they went over to Red. So, like, it's gonna be a next-gen only game, obviously. So they at least need 3 years. So launching at the end of 2023, not enough time. So it was always going to be 2024. Mirage is now probably mid-2023. So then we see... okay, now I have to like kind of look where I need to go. Maybe I like go down here. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's why, yeah, Codename Red is totally 2024, Mirage 2023. And you have to remember as well, in that sort of roadmap they had, which I can pull up on the screen real quick here, bear with me, as I throw down my controller. Oh right, do I not have this? It's like right here, maybe, I think this is it. Here, we see it as well, like, 2023 clearly is Mirage, and if Codename Red would also be 2023, they would have, like, put that logo in 2023 as well. So I think on the horizon is 2024 and beyond. I'm now gonna pick up my controller that I dropped down. Andrew Vidal says, hey mate, what's your take on the server shutting down 1st of October for some of the earlier Assassin's Creed games, making trophies and achievements unavailable? Yeah, that really sucks. I do think it's inevitable though. It's kind of the sad reality of these online games. Like, these games are, I mean, we're looking at the 15th year anniversary for Assassin's Creed. These games are old. So it's just sad that we will never be, or like, yeah, you can't touch these multiplayer sort of games anymore. But yeah, they already extended it. Like, in a perfect world, everything would of course be up forever. But that's sadly not, like, realistic. I'm gonna, like, get a jar, I think. I'm not sure if I can, though. I think I need to get a jar and then carry it through the sort of smoke. So I have to maybe, like, place it down. Because I only got, like, 1 adrenaline bar left. We're gonna do this. So yeah, thanks for your donation. That's very kind, by the way. Like, I actually might want to, like, play, especially, like, the multiplayer from the older games, which is, of course, shutting down. Like, oh, wow. I think I have to, like, be faster. This is gonna hurt.
Need to be careful here.
I'm gonna make it though. What? Okay. There we go. I think my freaking I saw it already, but I'm still like, where the heck is my my health bar? Oh, health stamina, yeah. Lol, okay. We can finally see it. We completed it. That's great. So yeah, it's sad. But yeah, it's also kind of the... Like, right now we are talking about it because it's getting shut down. And it sucks for preservation and for people that are buying these games later. But how many people are we talking about here? Like... I don't know. I think it's the sad reality of online games in general. There are servers like for the Killzone franchise that also, like, Killzone Shadowfall launched alongside the PS4, which was 2013. They also shut that down. Like, that sucks that you cannot play those games multiplayer again, because that was kind of the whole point of those games, for me at least. Did not really play the single player. And those games were even newer than some of the Assassin's Creed titles. So yeah, it sucks, but I don't know. It's also, I think, if you play these games now, you cannot even find people to play with. I even had, like, trouble finding people to play Unity with, and I think there's still, like, like keeping that up. So yeah, I think it's a sad reality. I would have loved to see these like servers online forever, but we've seen it across a lot of games. Hey, we can finally fight again. Nice. Aiden Pierce, salute. Do you have any info on the Final Chapters DLC as well as Nexus? I was surprised it won't show up at the Ubisoft Fort. Thanks, Aiden Pierce. Cool name, by the way. And yeah, that's kind of the sad reality. I did not say it in my Ubisoft video from yesterday. Totally watch it if you haven't already, on kind of the future of their games next to Assassin's Creed. Especially they're like going real big on Far Cry, while we don't really know what that's going to mean. So that's going to be quite interesting. But let me scroll up here again. The Final Chapter DLC, like what my take on it is, I think it's gonna be like way bigger than I anticipated. It's gonna be like a story arc, so I'm thinking like 2 hours. I have some like extra info on it. Because of course we saw Basim there, so you can already kind of think of what that means with Mirage coming as well. So I think it's gonna be quite cool. I personally prefer stuff like the Forgotten Saga, because I actually played that for like maybe more than the freaking Druids DLC or something. And I also had more fun than the Druids DLC and Siege of Paris. Like, I prefer replayable, more combat-focused stuff. But it's good that they, like... Because I feel like Bayek deserved a final chapter as well. Like, he was left in such a weird place after the Curse of the Pharaohs. So I would have loved to see like a similar DLC. So I'm happy that they're doing that for Eivor. I think they're closing the door on the character. We will probably not see them again, which I think is fine. I've spent like 500 plus hours with this character. I'm ready to move on. Like, I'm curious what the new characters in Red will be. I'm sure. I mean, it's not confirmed or anything, but I'm sure that they will do like the whole. The whole male and female again. But yeah, I think it's I think the final chapter will be great. And regarding Nexus, which of course the VR game, we talked about that before, and we actually had a report yesterday from Tom Henderson, who also like leaked a lot of info on the VR game. Like, if you look at you can easily do it yourself. Not like that you should, but just to note how easy it is to get info on that game, or actually like see that they're working on it, is if you like type in the Ubisoft career page, type Assassin's Creed VR, then you basically see all the people that are looking for that project. And according to Tom Henderson in the report he posted yesterday, that game, that VR game, which is probably exclusive to Oculus, I mean, which kind of sucks. Like, I have a Quest, I like it, but that, of course, will eliminate some of the things you can do with it. Like the quality overall. There are rumors, though, that they're doing like an Oculus sort of Pro, which like gonna be way more expensive and stuff. Like, they, of course, need exclusive content for that. So maybe it's like a Oculus Pro sort of thing, which might actually be more exciting. But that headset is gonna be like $1,500, like really, really expensive. Should still be wireless, but all the sort of pieces should be like in the machine. Yeah, I was hoping for the PSVR 2 release, because I'm like really looking to get the PSVR 2, especially because of the Horizon game that they got coming. So having the Assassin's Creed title there as well will of course be glorious, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So yeah, I think they're saving it for an Oculus thing, because yeah, they got the funding from Oculus. That at least seems to be that way. It's gonna be a system seller for whatever Oculus is doing, so I think we will see it at Oculus. Hope that answered your question, Aiden, and I appreciate your €5 donation. I want to thank Ben for the modding there. Let's see what his Hypermoon is like spamming. Do you think we will get co-op in Red? No. Red is gonna be single player only, but we do know there is a separate multiplayer game. And I think that's great. Like, I don't want a co-op... I don't want, like, a co-op... Far Cry type situation. Because... And that's why I'm, like, so curious what they will do with Far Cry. Because... Like... For Far Cry... I always think that Ubisoft wants something different than what the series is. Like, they wanted a Borderlands type game with New Dawn. But it's not Borderlands. No, it's not. Like, sure, that means that players will play it for way longer. Get, like, good loot and stuff. But that's not what Far Cry is. Far Cry is also a game that most people play alone. Like, I talked about that in my... video that again is up, that I put up yesterday, so totally give it a watch if you haven't already. Where I showed you the poll that I did like 9 months ago, where it was like, how are you playing Far Cry? Like, do you play single player co-op? 59% says only single player, while some said both as well. So a lot of people are playing Far Cry single player, so that's why I really hope that they make a single player only Far Cry game, because in Far Cry 6 they once again try to push multiplayer on people by basically, if you would play in co-op in Far Cry 6, you would get more currency that you can then spend on really powerful or like cool items. And yeah, that kind of sucked. It felt like if you were playing single player, you got less worth out of your time. So they were really pushing multiplayer, and of course the post-launch for Far Cry 6 was mostly co-op stuff. It was that mode where you had to carry a bomb, and you could do it alone, but you had to carry a bomb and make sure you like put it underwater, like, or like made sure that it did not overheat. So sometimes you would be like, yeah, basically washing the bomb, like basically interacting with things in the environment to make sure that the bomb did not overheat. And while you were doing that, you were unable to use your weapons. So that's where you had to have a second person covering you. And if you did not have that, it was basically impossible, especially on higher ranks. So they really forced multiplayer, and I don't want that in Assassin's Creed. Like, I don't want Red to have co-op, which then means that they cannot have cool story moments because there's a second player running around as well. And that's what we saw with Far Cry 5, where your character did not talk. With New Dawn as well, like, you were mostly looking at what other people were doing, and it kind of ruined the overall experience. So I'm happy that, and that's why I also think that Ubisoft is kind of learning in that sense, what I also like kind of talked about in that previous video, by not forcing things in games that will not make them better. Like, I mean, co-op for Far Cry is certainly, I get that it's appealing, but they have to like know that most people play single player, so let's not focus your freaking post-launch on something that only like a fraction of your audience will see. So yeah, that's why I'm happy that for Assassin's Creed, well, I can't see a thing. They're actually like making sure that like a team that did For Honor. So I kind of think For Honor 2, I'm not sure if it's gonna happen. It seems that they are like working on this multiplayer Assassin's Creed project now, and people that worked on Rainbow Six Siege are now working on just a separate multiplayer mode. I think that also showed with Ghost of Tsushima Legends, separate from the single player. That works the best. We need something that's going to bring the community more together. I think that's really, really interesting that you say that, Rolf the Gamer. I agree, and I think what a lot of like games showed, or like Assassin's Creed as well, is that it doesn't have to be a multiplayer thing that brings the community together. And one of the things that comes to mind for me is like multiple things actually, like the Nodens Arc sort of theory, where what the heck, there's this bow you can get in the game, but how? And then people were trying to figure out how you could get it. The same with the Odin runes. Someone found a strange sort of, weird sort of sign on the rocks. And then they put it online, and people were like, hey, I saw that there and there and there as well. And then we put together this map with multiple runes that then later, of course, turned out to be the Tombs of the Fallen. With, again, we're getting probably part 2 next week, which is going to be very exciting. So it doesn't have to be multiplayer stuff. I think the Basim Sword is another great example where it was like... where it was like, okay, we need... I think it was like 1 million kills. Maybe it was even more. I can't remember. But it was like on Tuesday, like I think at the time that the stream started, or maybe like on a separate day. But I think on Thursday then. The challenge released. I went live as well. Just got kills, like, I was just like going to a camp where I could get like easy kills. Maybe you had to kill people with a one-handed sword, I think it was. So I was like doing that, constantly looking at the community challenge. And that was also, in the single player game, a community effort. And I really think that with Infinity being this connected hub, they are doing more things. But I just love that they know that they have something special with their single player games, like that we're still playing Valhalla to this day, and that they're seeing a lot of success by launching post-launch live service style content in a single player game, that it's working out. Like Genshin Impact, another great example. It's one of the most popular games, and I think only a fraction of the players are playing co-op in that game. So it really shows a bright future for single player, while first with like the popularity of Battle Royale, it was kind of like, okay, all the games are gonna be multiplayer from now on. And like, I want an Assassin's Creed multiplayer game, but I don't want it to be instead of the single player experience. And it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that we get, or at least seems like, it's like that's what they're saying. So,
Can't. Need to get on the other side.
do you really need to get to the other side though? I hate bar doors. Don't bring bar doors back in Red, please. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to. Okay, we're gonna get this one as well. I agree with you, JorRaptor. Nice, veteran gamer. The one thing I find attractive about AC1 and Ezio Trilogy is the narrative. Another is graphics. That's why AC Revelations is one of the best in my opinion. I agree. One of the things I really love in Revelations is how... And I think that, for example, Horizon Forbidden West did this very poorly. Like, you already, when you start playing with Ezio in Revelations, you already have all these tools. And you already feel like really powerful, as you should be, because you're playing Ezio. He's been through a lot, and he has a lot of experience. But still, that game in the early parts, and like throughout the rest of the game, introduces new mechanics. So you still have all the tools you know about, but you also get the hook blade, for the hidden blade, of course, so you can like climb higher and use different parts of Constantinople and stuff. Like, I thought that was so well done, and like the bombs that you could use there. That is like one of the things I really like about Revelations. What? You were not really starting over, but still, you were learning a lot of things. And that's what I did not like about Horizon, because sure, we got like new things like the glider and stuff, like the shield wing. But I also felt like I was starting over. Like, I was not the Aloy that I left in Zero Dawn. I was like I had to like level up. I was level 1 again. Of course, some skills like slowing down the time and stuff, I still had those. But like, I had a tripcaster. I had a great one. And then a few moments later into the game, you get the same weapon, like a way worse version of what you already had. And Aloy is kind of happy with that. But yeah, I get it. Like, they of course wanted it not to be overwhelming for a lot of new players. Anything on New Game Plus? Sadly not. But as we already know, or yeah, as we talked about many times on the channel, as Jose said many times, of course, it's gonna be at the end of the life cycle. I'm really curious though, like a lot of people are talking about New Game Plus. I'm really curious when it finally happens. And again, I hope it happens. When, like, how many people are actually gonna play it. But I still think it's a big oversight that it took them this long. Because if we had New Game Plus in between the droughts of content, like if they had New Game Plus at the start of year 2, I think it would have been way more exciting. Like then we still had then I still during this stream had something more exciting to play than, I mean I still need to get the platinum at one point and I want to get it before we move on to Mirage and Red especially. But yeah. I do feel that New Game Plus would have benefited the sort of long wait time that we now have between updates. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. I'm not sure if I can leave to my settlement yet. I'm gonna make sure that I go. I don't have a cloak on, so I cannot like hide here. But I'm just gonna like swim to the other side, I think, and be done with it. I had a ton of fun. Thanks for joining, everyone. Sir, are you riding a big cat? A big cat? Yes, polar bear. I can also ride a polar bear if you want. It's up to you. Now I'm here too. Hey, Haunted Ripper, good to see you. They will have bar doors in DLC in Red. No! I mean, that would be actually a fun April Fool's video. First details on Red. All bar doors are back. That would haunt my nightmares. Just like archery lady, ancestor. Or no, actually not an ancestor. Like actually her like daughter. But then, I don't know. Someone from the archery lady family tree might be in Red. That's gonna haunt my dreams as well. Should I write this down? No, Joyce, please don't. Thanks everyone for joining. Next week will be interesting. Because then we get... Let's recap it real quick. The Tombs of the Fallen. Because the trophies are up. It seems that it's gonna drop any moment. The update has been added to the database, so that means it's likely next week. And Ubisoft also started teasing a new settlement building. And they usually tease stuff when it's close to being done. So, I think it's next week. If it's like the week after, I would be shocked. But it's not confirmed that it's next week, so we have to keep that in mind. And I want to thank Unique Man, by the way, for winning my Helix credit pack giveaway. I already reached out. So, we will have we don't have a Helix credit pack giveaway ongoing, maybe next week when finally the Tenno set releases, but there is a Mirage giveaway. You can find the giveaway for the Mirage stuff there. Want to thank everyone who watched, everyone who donated. Thanks for the support. Chris, thanks for gifting all the memberships to everyone. Derek saying, my top 2, Red and Hexe, yourself. Yeah, finally Feudal Japan. Like, Red is on the top of my list. Red is on the top one. And I'm curious about the multiplayer game as well. And Hexe, of course. Like, I'm curious about everything. But if I had to pick 2 things, I would say Red and whatever multiplayer will look like. Because I think it will be fun. And that's, of course, going to be fun, like, streaming as well, I think. Thanks, everyone.